There's Peyton Cornelius. Over to Steed. Now down low, Andriotta. Outside, Cornelius gets the open look from three. Won't go. Steed, the rebound, blocked from behind by Barnes. What a play. Barnes working on Andriotta. The floater from Barnes is good, and the foul. DJ Barnes putting on a clinic for Shelbyville. He's got 9 and a chance to make it 10 here at the free throw line. What a strong take there from Barnes through the contact on the replay there. And he finishes the three-point play to tie it up at 23 all. Now 10 points on the day for the 5'10 junior guard, DJ Barnes. Tarpley on the left wing. Cornelius gets another open look from three. Can't cash it in this time. Frick gets the rebound and outlets to Barnes. Barnes right side, splits the defender. High, floater is good. DJ Barnes has the last 5 for Shelbyville. And the Dragons in front by 2. 25-23, 1:40 to go in the third.
And Lipan's over the last 5 from the field, Tommy, in that stretch. Shelbyville 3 of their last 3.
Cornelius a 3. Lipan now 1 of their last 6 after that triple.
Boy, did they need that to go back up by 1 here.
No kidding. 26-25, back and forth we go in the closing minutes of the third quarter. Barnes through 2 defenders. Strong take again, and DJ Barnes lays it in. He's got their last 7 now, and Shelbyville goes up 27-26 with 60 seconds left in the third. Tarpley to Gaylor. Another triple. Cord Gaylor is unconscious right now. What a shot. He barely needs any room, Gavin.
No, he's not getting much space, but he's working with what he's got, and that's what the great players do. And again, only a 9th grader. He's a freshman.
29-27 Lipan now. 38 seconds to go. Here's Barnes. Lost the handle. And he goes flying into the crowd. He trips over some of the cheerleaders there in the front row. That's a turnover for Shelbyville. .30 seconds to go in the third. Lipan with a 2-point lead. 13 points for Court Gaylor. Darius Steed trying to find some open space. Gets it to Cornelius with 15 seconds. Cornelius on the left wing with 8. To Steed. Now Tarpley to Gaylor. They get him the open look. And he buries it! Court Gaylor is unbelievable. His 4th triple of this state championship game, and Lipan goes up by 5. Look at the play design here. They get Steed in there on the screen, and that's more than enough room for Court Gaylor, and you see he's feeling it, Gavin.
Yeah, quick turnaround for him, able to swing right back out, catch it, shoot, money.
You know who else is money? The 3rd member of our crew, Trevor Bullard. Trevor? So here comes George Young's crew. 2nd year at C.E. King. He's got over 25 years of coaching experience. Was previously the head coach at Galena Park. Before that, he was the offensive coordinator for the legendary John Kay at North Shore. Also coached at Jersey Village. John Kay, of course, now the linebackers coach over at Rice University. So here's Darius Clark James and the Panthers offense. 1st and 10 from inside their own 15. First carry goes to the sophomore running back Deion Sims, and Sims doesn't get much, only a gain of 2, but this is a talented sophomore back, Gavin.
Yeah, Deion Sims, like you said, only a 10th grader. He was in middle school 2 years ago, and this is a guy that on the year is, over 750 yards on almost 100 carries, 7.9 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns. Has caught a couple passes for 1 touchdown as well. He's got offers, though, only as a sophomore from Oregon, U of H, and UTSA, among others, and he's a guy that's been busting open long runs all season long. He's a guy that, if he finds space, he can score on any play almost.
After the gain of just one, it's 2nd and 9. Clark James rolling out to his left. He's hit as he throws, and it goes over the head of his intended target, Vincent Jones, and out of bounds. Good coverage there on the boundary by Ephraim Dotson.
Yeah, and Darius Clark James there was kind of just rolling to his right. He had Vincent Jones not necessarily open, but Vincent Jones had a step underneath the defender. I like the call there by Clark James, just fired away. He was about to take a sack, and thankfully if you're CE King, that one just sailed over the head of the defender because Hightower at a corner coming crashing right to the back of Vincent Jones, and if that one doesn't sail out of bounds, there's a decent shot that Hightower may have that one come back the other direction.
And so now 3rd down and 9 from the CE King 13. Panthers trying to get out of their own end zone here. Clark James rolling right once again, flips it downfield. He's got a man on the sideline, and it's caught inbounds and still going. Nobody in front of Kason Dobbins. He's going to score. Touchdown, CE King, 87 yards. Whistles are blowing, though. Officials going to talk this one over. They might bring this back. Really, Hightower not showing a lot of urgency there defensively. I think they might have think he stepped out of bounds earlier in the play. Yeah, good call on the illegal touching there. That was the call. So Dobbins goes out of bounds and then comes back into the field of play. That negates the 87-yard score that could have tied this game. Hightower's blocked the punt. It's caught by CE King's punter, still on the ground. Nobody can get a hang on it. Now the Panthers recover it, but Hightower's going to be setting up shop inside the 10. What a play from the Hurricanes to come flying in and block the punt. That was number 10, Cameron Reddick, coming in to make the huge play on special teams, and now a chance to go up 2 scores early for Hightower.
Yeah, Tommy, that's the senior free safety, Cameron Reddick. He starts at free safety for the Hightower defense, plays special teams as well. He's an SFA committee, he's an all-district safety. I mean, on special teams, though, you see him making an impact, too. He's the one that got back there and made that play, and the coaching staff loved it when he got to the sideline.
Get this. That's his 3rd blocked kick of the season. This guy is a specialist in blocking kicks, and it couldn't have come at a better time for Hightower. So now 7:10 to go in the first quarter. It's 1st and goal from the 9 for the Hurricanes. They already lead at 7-0. Delayed give to Jeremy Payne. Payne working his way closer to the 5. He's going to end up a yard short at the 6.
Yeah, and Tommy, one thing I want to say is, like, we go through these games and we're on air for a lot of games. We kind of you look back at moments from each game that kind of define a half or a quarter, or even the entire game.
Play.
Right. And that illegal touching on the last possession for CE King goes from an 80-something yard touchdown to illegal touching, loss of down. It's 4th. They have to punt it away, and then it gets blocked by Reddick. And now Hightower's on the verge of a 2-score lead if they can get any kind of points on this drive. And we're going to look back to the illegal touching call, no matter what happens in this game, as kind of a game-defining penalty in play.
7-point swing potentially here for Hightower. 2nd and goal. They dump it off into the flat to Payne. Payne evades the tackle, and he's in for his 2nd touchdown of the morning.
Number 1, Joseph Stewart connects to number 6.
25th passing touchdown for JoJo Stewart. Jeremy Payne's 9th receiving. He's got 2 on the day, and Hightower's up 13-0 quickly with 6:25 to go in the first. Here with head coach Ryan Dollar. Coach, a year of first for you and your team. Your first year here at Newcastle. First Newcastle State Tournament appearance, and now first Newcastle State champion. How good does it feel to be at the pinnacle of 1A girls basketball?
You know, I think it feels amazing. I'm kind of sitting here like, what in the world just happened? You know, the girls played their tail off. They played their tail off all year. They've learned, they competed, they've worked together. You know, we talked about before the game, there's no drama. You know, they love the Lord. I mean, it's just amazing to see where we started back this summer and where we're at right now. Like, no feeling like it. It's amazing.
Dollar, Cabrera, Mallory. That 3-headed monster for you gets you 43 of your 48 points in this game. What did those 3 mean for you, not just this season, but in this state championship game?
Oh, it's just been fun. You know, Maddie's kind of been our go-to all year long, and really since the regional finals, Maya kind of stepped up, and she's like, you know what, I think we're getting close. Like, I might as well start playing now. So she's just been getting it. Cameron's kind of led us. She's a freshman. Early on, it was a struggle just handling the basketball, but when she kind of figured out, you know, we still make freshman mistakes, but holy cow, obviously we couldn't do it without her, and she stepped up big when it needed to be stepped up.
Your daughter, Maddie, you told me before the game that people were telling you going into this tournament, just smell the roses, enjoy the moment. How good do those roses smell right now?
Hey, I told somebody when they told me that they're going to smell a lot better with 2 more wins, and we got them, so those roses are smelling kind of sweet right now.
Newcastle Lady Cats, 1A state champions. Thank you, Coach. Congratulations. Hey folks, and welcome into episode 17 of the Longhorn Mailbag, answering your questions from our board over at horns247.com. Thanks so much for being here with us. As always, we're going to start with our true-false segment for Iowa State coming up this week. But first, a pat on the back is in store for all of us. 10-0 through our true-false picks over the last 2 weeks. Now, last week we went 5-0 because we had to omit the Malik Murphy true-false since he didn't start the game or play. So that gives us a perfect 10-0 record through the past 2 weeks. Fantastic job being done here on the Longhorn Mailbag. So make sure you stick around with us for what should be another week of correct picks. So I'm on a hot streak. Let's try and keep it going here with the Iowa State true-false presented to us, as always, by our good friend Ranger's Dad. Number 1, Texas will jump out to a double-digit lead at halftime. Then we'll have to fight late in the fourth quarter to secure the win. I'm going false here, and I think it's false because this is going to be a close slugfest game from start to finish in my eyes. I don't think this is a game where either team really jumps out to a sizable lead and holds on to it for very long just because both defenses are so good. The number 1 and number 2 defenses in the Big 12 Conference facing off in Ames on Saturday. Texas offensively has struggled a lot when they play this Iowa State team. Matt Campbell runs that defense extremely well, and the Cyclones have got it down to a T. So unless Steve Sarkisian has all of a sudden found the solution to the Cyclone defense, I think this is close throughout. I don't think Iowa State's offense is all that great, but I think they're good enough to be able to get the job done and get some sort of points on the board. And you can say the same thing about Texas. Obviously, there's a sizable gap between the Texas offense and the Iowa State offense, but they have playmakers. They have guys like Jalen Noel. So I think this is a counter-punch type game that stays close from start to finish. So I'm going false there. Number 2, Quinn Ewers will go for over 300 yards passing. I'm going false here as well on this. I think we get a good amount of passing from Ewers, but I think it's in those like short yardage, little chunk kind of plays, not necessarily big chunks, more medium-sized chunks. I don't think we see as many deep shots with the safety look that Iowa State trots out onto the field defensively. So this is going to be a game where Texas is probably going to try to run the ball a ton, even though they don't have Jonathan Brooks, especially with 3 down linemen up front for Iowa State. This is going to be a game where you have to lean on the offensive line to make some room for Cedric Baxter and Jaden Blue to get through a hole and try to give you some good yardage. So you look at last year, this was a 28 carry game for Bijan Robinson. Now, obviously, Bijan Robinson and Cedric Baxter are at completely different points in their careers, but nonetheless, I think we see something similar with Baxter here and even Jaden Blue when he gets into the mix. I think we see a heavy dosage of those two on the ground. So I think Quinn Ewers still moves it around fairly well through the air, but lean on the Texas run game in this one. Number 3, the defense will force 5 3-and-outs. I'm going false here. I think simply that's just a lot of 3-and-outs in my mind. Iowa State's offense, like I mentioned, it isn't great, and the Texas defense is just playing extremely well. But that number is a bit too lofty for me. I think maybe if this was more like 2+ 3-and-outs, I would say true. But this is a game where last year it was a slugfest. It's been a slugfest a lot in years past. Iowa State only went 3-and-out twice a season ago, and that was at home in Austin. I think they've got their home turf as an advantage on Saturday, so I'm going false here. Number 4, the Texas defense will force 2 turnovers. I'm going false here as well. That's not a knock on the Texas defense, but Iowa State has only turned the ball over 8 times this year. They're number 10 in the country in turnover margin. This is a team that gets turnovers. They don't necessarily give them up very often. I think they're going to play their best at home under the lights, like I just mentioned. They do have a redshirt freshman at quarterback, Rocco Becht, and the Longhorns have been able to force those inexperienced quarterbacks into some poor decisions this year, but I still think we need to see improvement from this secondary. They've dropped a lot of balls. They've been bad in coverage at times, so I'm going false here on this one. And last but not least, number 5, Cedric Baxter goes for over 100 yards on the ground. I say true here. I think he hits this mark because he's going to get a massive uptick in carries, and because I think Iowa State's defensive alignment and formation plays to his advantage a little bit, and you have to rely on this Texas offensive line to get him some push in this ball game.